The reason I do that is that we are showing our viewers on screen now visuals from Killarney here in Johannesburg. It's that extraordinary area really where, you know, the former leaders, many of them live there. So you've got now the former president, Kgalema Motlanthe, arriving to cast his ballot. It's the area of Killarney. I once attended one of these ANC branch meetings ahead of some conference or another, and I was amazed at the people that belonged to that particular branch in that area. Let's see if he will say anything ahead. Let's see if we can hear anything from that stream that's coming through from that voting station.
Asked us to all stand here, no? You're going to get it.
So you're seeing visuals there of former President Kgalema Motlanthe there. He's being processed through the inside, processes of the IEC. Once you are inside the voting district, his name being checked on the voters roll, and he will, the ID being checked, name on the voters roll, then moving on to be issued the ballot papers. So this being a metro, there will be two ballot papers. There will be one for the metro, for the ward where he's voting. The second one will be the proportional representation ballot paper. He's accompanied there by his wife, Gugu, for that particular purpose. They're both there to vote. It's not even about accompanying. What am I saying? They're both there to cast their ballots. They do live in the area of Killarney, in the neighborhood not far from where the home of former President, the late Nelson Mandela, is in Houghton, but also former President Thabo Mbeki is also not far from there. And it's that kind of conglomeration of the who's who in as far as leadership is concerned. Of course, Kgalema Motlanthe is someone who's been in the eye of a storm, in a way, really, inside the ANC, trying to help the ANC tighten its internal democracy in terms of choosing the candidates. When you hear President Cyril Ramaphosa saying we are confident that we've got the right candidates, well, he's giving a thumbs up for the processes that have been led by Kgalema Motlanthe in the main, because he's been given the task of ensuring that that process runs smoothly. It does become contentious and fractious at the best of times, and well, how well he's done a job, we'll have to see, because there have been complaints. There have been complaints, and the ANC saying that they will handle those even after the elections have been held. Lastly, let me mention, you heard me earlier on talking about how on previous occasions Kgalema Motlanthe would arrive and find a queue at that polling station and would just await his turn, despite the courtesy being extended that he should go to the front. I didn't see outside, but it didn't seem to me that there was a long queue today as he was arriving. But I mean, I'm speaking from assumption, from the comfort of the studio. There you see him there. He is going into the voting booth, and I imagine that once he has made a mark on those two ballot papers, we'll be able to see him toss those ballot papers into the ballot box. So while we watch that, let's see if we can bring in Siphamandla Goge into this conversation. Siphamandla, I think the significance of the processes that Kgalema Motlanthe has led in the ANC will truly be tested, because the ANC has been saying to everyone, we've got people who are fit for purpose. In a way, they hope Kgalema Motlanthe did a good enough job and selected the right candidates for them, and those candidates will not only get the endorsement of the ANC, but importantly and critically, the endorsement of the electorate.
His job is not done, Thulasizwe. After these elections, Kgalema Motlanthe and his team will still need to go back together with the Dispute Resolution Committee of the ANC to deal with the issue of disputes. There are certain communities that are unhappy with the selection process of the candidates within the ANC in various provinces, whether in the Northwest, KwaZulu-Natal, in the Free State, in Limpopo. There are certain wards that are not happy with the selection candidate process. And the ANC has said after the elections they will go back, revisit those disputes. If there are people who have been nominated and elected illegally, quote unquote, they will be removed. So Kgalema Motlanthe's job is not done just yet, but he has done about 80% of that job in terms of ensuring that at least the community engagement and the ANC structures are indeed involved.
Let's pause for a moment, Siphamandla, as he casts his ballot and tosses it into the box there.
Is that for the VA, sir? Inshallah. So, Paula, what about the
So you're seeing there the visuals coming through from Killarney there, and I imagine that the journalists who are there will be trying to squeeze out any kind of comment from former President Kgalema Motlanthe. I think I heard someone asking him if he voted for the DA. I don't know. He's there with Kgalema Motlanthe, the former First Lady there, and there's a situation there. I don't know, I don't want to pry or anything, but I think you'll be seeing it, that she's walking with a bit of a limp and is using some kind of a walking aid, and I wonder if it's anything that's of concern, but I'll leave that there. No speculation on my part, and I'm hoping that there'll be words that will be exchanged with the reporters who are there. I see the ANC's Department of Information and Publicity at the forefront. They're trying to marshal. Maybe we will be given a word. That's the one thing we are waiting for, but we're also waiting for the briefing by the IEC to get underway, and we'll bring you that live as soon as it gets underway. Let's see if we'll be able to hear from Kgalema Motlanthe now.
Auntie Gugu is falling for you, Mr. President. Second time. Second time.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. We truly appreciate your presence. I'm going to give to our former president to address you, and thereafter we'll do a Q&A. If you have one or two things that you want to ask, we'll respond to those issues. But Mkulo, thank you so much. We really appreciate it. The floor is yours.
So, what must I say?
They want to know how do you feel. That's the first question after voting.
I'm elated after voting. Voting is a civic duty, and all of us should cast our vote. Particularly, when it comes to local government, because it's a hybrid system. You vote for your ward candidate, and you also vote on PR. So all South Africans really should be exercising this right to cast their vote here.
Okay. I'll let you that one. Feel free. You are accredited, so no policeman will tamper with you. Just feel free. I'll take questions if you have. Just shoot, Slim.
Thank you so much, former President. Just to get your sentiment.
All right, so that's the former President Kgalema Motlanthe there, having cast his ballot in Killarney. I've got to quickly correct something. I referred to Gugu as former First Lady. They got married in 2014, to the extent that that technicality matters for anything.